Hello. In this video we're going to be talking about angles, and so an angle is created by rotating a ray about an endpoint. And so you can see in my drawing here we have an initial side that's been labeled, and we rotated around the vertex a certain amount of measurement to get to the terminal side, and the terminal side is the place where it ends. Terminal means ending, while initial means beginning. So when the angle has its initial side on the positive x-axis, like on the bottom here, I have two angles drawn. They're both starting with their initial side on the positive half of the x-axis. This angle is considered in standard position. And when I do a rotation that is counterclockwise from there, so I go up into the first quadrant, over to the second, and maybe down to the third and into the fourth, coming that way, that is a positive angle measure. And if I were to go the other way, going clockwise, that's going to be a negative angle measure, as you can see illustrated below. Now, two angles are considered coterminal when we draw their rotations and they have the same place for their initial and terminal sides. So we want to find, in our examples, a positive and negative angle that is coterminal to the angle that's given below. So if I have a 75-degree angle, and I'll draw a rough sketch of this. So here's my coordinate plane, and I'll put the initial side on the x-axis, and there it is. And a 75-degree angle, well, if I drew straight up here, that's going to be a 90-degree angle, so I don't want to go that far. So I'm going to go a little less than that, and I'll land right there, and my rotation went up in that direction. So that's my positive rotation of about 75 degrees. And so in order to get an angle that's coterminal with it, what I can do is I can do this rotation again, but go all the way around once and then land back where we were. So if I started by going a full rotation, that's 360 degrees plus the 75 more I would need to go to land at the same spot as that blue terminal side. And so that one angle is 360 plus 75 gets me 435 degrees. So a 435 degree angle is coterminal to a 75 degree angle. If I'm going the other way, negatively, so I will rotate downward instead. So I almost went 360 degrees the other way, except for that 75 degree angle we had there. So I could take that 75 degree angle and take away 360 and figure out what that measure is, right? Because it's almost a full negative 360 degree rotation, but we went back that 75, or didn't quite make that 75. So 75 minus 360 gets us negative 285 degrees. So that is a negative 285 degree rotation that I marked there in black, and it is coterminal to a 75 degree angle because it would land in the same spot. All right, what if we have an angle of negative 120? So again, I'll draw my rough sketch. So there we are in the positive half. Again, if I went straight down, that's negative 90. So I need to go 30 more degrees from there, which would land me right there. And I'll rotate backwards like so. And so that is a negative 120 degree rotation. So what would be coterminal to that? Well, again, I can go around a negative 360 and then finish right there. And so that would be where I had a negative 360 plus the negative 120 more. And so that would be negative 480 degrees. That would be coterminal to the negative 120. Or if I, instead of going in the negative direction, went positively and just landed right there. So for this, you can consider my half circle to be 180. So this straight across would be 180. And then I would need 60 more to get right there. So I can consider that to be 180 plus 60, which would be 240. Or instead of going the full 360 around, we backed off by 120. And so that's another way of finding that it is 240 degrees. So that's your basic crash course on angles in standard position and coterminal angles. For now, we're done.